There really doesn't take a genius for this. We're gonna go ahead and create a new world. I already made it, but I'm gonna just remake it again. Uh, let's see. So that's the name, yeah, blah blah. World settings. This is for survival mode. We'll go over each decision so we can see what what it takes. It's really nothing too crazy. Perks should be enabled by default. You earn them. Drop additional loot on death. That should be on in survival mode. However, it should not drop all your freaking ammo, man. It should not drop all your ammo. It should be like survival mode, where it just dropped a chunk of it. Is that how it worked? I'm probably thinking about fast travel. That was different. Yeah. So maybe drop like 50% of your ammo each time. So if you have 100 of a certain ammo, you die. You now have 50 in your inventory. You die again, you have 25, so on and so forth. That way it gives people a chance to, retaliate, get their ammo back. Because the way 76 is not set up to be a game like that, because there's no point in dropping all that if you're not going to drop your weapons as well. And obviously, 76 is not that type of game. It's been 4 years now. I think it's safe to say. That's something a bit too risky to try out yet. Full loot drop, so... But I wouldn't be sure. I've played games like that before, but sometimes they're pretty frustrating, so... I like this model of just dropping ammo and aid. That way you're not just carrying like your whole stash worth of ammo to your fights as it is currently right now. So it'll just make you think twice, and you'll carry what you need so you don't lose as much in case you die, and you just be efficient. I think that's fine. Nuked flora on creatures, that can stay off. Weather can be fine. Power armor drain, maybe just a little bit more. But I think default, like just to play it safe, default could be fine. It's up to the devs on that one. Jump height default, of course. AP cost default. No filter. Fast travel should be limited, not disabled. Just like in survival mode. Just only to train stations, to vendor camps, and, well, camp. I'm not sure about camps, but for sure, just train stations and Vault 76 and your own camp and teammates camps. Every other location should keep fast travel off though. So, that little star right there, that's kind of the ES map locations. Default, of course, fall damage default. I changed, let's see, 2 settings. That's all I had to do for general. Now let's see, workshop. Free building works. Yeah, resources should be required. Camp power should be required. That should stay off for sure, because this is for survival mode, not this world's crap where nothing counts. You could just log out, reload your character, log back in. You didn't lose shit. You're not risking anything. This doesn't help for sure, so that's gonna stay off. Camp height, I really don't care. If personally up to me, I'd set it to nuclear. It really doesn't matter, just to give people something to build, I guess. But default is fine. Whatever, blah blah. It shouldn't be too crazy. Camp placement, I think most locations should be allowed. I do think camps should be a little less restrictive, especially if you're gonna mobilize your camp to be like full of turrets, kind of like the UMAT I had earlier in my earlier videos. I'd like to be able to place that without someone just running to a location and then I can't place it anymore. because it's in a location. I think most locations should be allowed. Maybe all locations if, but I don't know. I feel like people will take that too far and block places off where, you kind of need to enter, like the settlers, raiders, all that good stuff. Camp radius, should be fucking fine. That way we can destroy camps or fucking put camps together. That would work. That'd be nice. Budget. I wouldn't mind high budget, to be honest. Very high budget. Personally, I'd put very high, but default probably would be fine. Relaxed building restrictions. Like I said, I mean, with the camp building, I think it should be pretty expressive. So, up to me. Very high. Very high budget. Relaxed building restrictions. I wouldn't mind. Camp high. Nuclear, whatever. Right. So that's that. I changed 4 settings, and that's just up to preference. Most of these can just stay default. They wouldn't really affect the experience. Combat. This is the big one. Okay, VATS. Off against players. Now, that'll be off against players until Bethesda decides to rework VATS in PvP, because even though you can crouch and you can use stealth boys and all that, it's still auto aim, and it's just people won't like just walking around minding their own business and then just get you're just trying to go to a place because fast travel is disabled, obviously, and you're going, and then someone with a railway or a commando VATS, you're just gonna be chilling, you're gonna go down in 1 second. That's not fun. And as much as I like build diversity, being on the receiving end of that's kinda, I mean, you're just chilling and then you're dead next thing you know. Oh, and that, by the way, for general stuff with the fast travel, Seeking Revenge should let you respawn nearby, obviously, and that goes hand in hand with the loot drop, where you only drop like half of your ammo and aid, and that way you still get a chance or something. Because with high risk right now, fucking garbage. 76 is not the type of game where if you die you have to go back to your base and re-gear, because your gear, you keep your gear. So it's just an inconvenience even with free workbench crafting. It just takes you out of the fight. Especially if you're fighting in the middle of nowhere and your camp's all the way fuck all. The vault, I mean, you can go fight at 76, the vault, but what's fun in that? The point is, like, you're just playing the game, grinding your shit to get better stuff, and the possibility of encountering a player and having to fight them, that's where the excitement of the game mode should be at. It should incentivize PvE, so you get good stuff, maintain your stuff, craft your ammo, all that good stuff, with the added risk of you encounter a player, they will not likely be friendly, you know? It just keeps your guard up, and it's just kind of, it's exciting that way. That's what it should be. It shouldn't all be about, I mean, the way Bethesda went at it, it's just, people think they just want to, well, Bethesda thinks we just want to fucking shoot each other. No. It's not just about that. So, we'll back to VATS, so. VATS should be off against players until they decide to rework it. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna just throw some ideas out there. Might not be the greatest, but it's just like, maybe just in VATS you just do half damage no matter what against players, or even less than that. I wouldn't be sure. That would be up to other circumstances like the game balance, which we'll get to. For now, I just want to choose all these options right now. So, because like I'm literally making a survival mode with the settings Bethesda gave us. This is all they have to do to start with. This is like the groundwork, and then they can work from there on rebalancing, reworking, all that good stuff. Because high risk it's a dog shit mode. I'm sorry. and I wish it was good. I wish it was good, but I mean, this mode was dead on arrival even for the PvEers. Like, you didn't see too many people on Happy Builder or the nuclear mode where everything's blue and whatever. Because worlds suck, and they really should just replace it. It's gonna get the nuclear winter treatment. They're just not gonna fucking do anything about it. They're not gonna update it. No one's gonna play it, and then they're gonna take it away due to neglect. Anyways, so that's off. We already established that. Equipment durability. Default should be fine for most things. Maybe tweak a couple things, but then, that's more like rebalancing. But default should be fine. This is off, and I'm not even gonna go into why this needs to be off. This needs to be off. This is the reason. This is one of the biggest reasons why people don't like PvP in this game, because of the overpowered legendary effects that were primarily meant for single player. And yeah, it's fine in single player because it's not like the fucking AI cares, but being on the receiving end of ridiculous legendary mod combinations that require RNG, because obviously Bethesda didn't give us a clear, definitive way of getting what you want. So you have to play the stupid, the gamble. You just have to gamble nonstop. And this is not gonna. It should be on your build. Being the better player should win, not the player that got more lucky in the gamble, or bought their shit, or got free stuff from dupers, whatever. The better player should win, and that should be on their build, their skill on how to use the build. That's what I think would be balanced, right? That way, if you use a melee build to the best of its ability, you win, and all that good stuff. Like all the builds that aren't currently being used because of the high DPS meta, that's just garbage and it sucks to play against. I'm not gonna lie. Proximity enemy spawn, that can stay off. It's whatever. Bats and melee AP cost. That can stay default for melee probably. With the whole VATS thing, like I said, it needs to be reworked against players. I guess it could stay the same against PvE, but if they want to enable VATS against players, they really need to rework it. In my humble opinion. Comment down below if you want to fucking hate on me for that, but it do not matter. This do not matter. This can stay fine. Difficulty. Personally, I'd go just a tad up, just hard, just to make it a little bit harder, But in this theoretical survival mode, the mobs should be reworked as well. They shouldn't be the bullet sponges, because they no longer need to be bullet sponges because this is off. So the mobs should be tweaked, but to not be bullet sponges, but they should still provide a challenge, in my humble opinion. So I'd leave this at hard, but this can stay at default. But I'll let it that. PvP rules always, of course, is survival. Dismemberment. Default should be fine. I wish they enabled that against players again, like in the trailer. That would be fucking badass. But the reason that's disabled is because of the God mode glitch. So ragdoll behavior, that could stay normal, but I think it's funny when people ragdoll, so. But that can stay fine. Obviously not. Damage received, damage dealt, that should be default, and then players can tweak that out with their build, buffs, and all that good stuff. Alright, so that's that. Description, and then that's literally all we need for it. That would be good. I think this would be good groundwork for a new survival mode. Let's see. And whatever. Boom, there's your survival mode. There's your groundwork. This is just the same thing, but for the most part, it's basically the same thing. There you have it. That would be your groundwork for a new survival mode. This is using the settings that Bethesda can enable with worlds. But we don't want worlds. We want a proper survival mode. That's doing these changes not only would appease the PvPers, but it would get the people on the fence about PvP to try it in this game, and that's kind of what I'm concerned about, because there will always be hardcore PvEers and hardcore PvPers, but you want people to try new things, so the PvE should go in hand with PvP. Like I said, you should be grinding PvE and stuff to get better equipment, better loot, getting plans, modifications, all that good stuff for your weapons. And then the end game should be, putting that up to the test against other players who have also done the same thing, not just for PvE but for PvP. I think that would be a fun. That should be the way this game, this survival mode should play. And that, just with that groundwork alone, I think we would be in a really good spot. And then Bethesda can work their way up from there by simply just changing, like nerfing a couple like perk cards, maybe buffing some that are a little underused, reworking bats, adding a freaking aid cooldown, or yeah, you have to add an aid cooldown, please. And it's up to them. For example, like a normal stim pack should have a like 3-second cooldown. Super Stim should have like a 5-second cooldown. A Nuka-Cola Quantum should have like a 10-second cooldown. And it's just entirely up to Bethesda how they'd want to do that, but they should listen to the community, of course. And it's just stuff like that. With that groundwork set, the only way is up, like really. It doesn't take a genius for this. This is all people want. This will get the people that hate PvP because of legendaries to try it. This will get people who don't like bats to try it. This would get people who want endgame to try it. It's just, I feel like this is a win-win for everyone. This is probably the best way to go at this, in my humble opinion. Like, comment down below if you disagree. I am open to suggestions too, like maybe I think this is pretty solid, but if you can change my mind, then go ahead. That would be very welcome. Yeah, that's the video. Simple as nothing too complicated. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a pretty simple video.